This TF47 video is brought to you by Stamp Playroll Store. SPS has Playroll merch in the mintest condition, special custom runs, and even packs based on your favorite stories. Check them out in the link below, and make sure to use code ThomasandFriend47 to save 10% on your first order. As always, thank you to our sponsor.
Hi guys, Thomas and Friends 47 here, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Lionel Thomas and Friends battery operated set based on All Engines Go. Now, this is an interesting item because almost as soon as it was unveiled and revealed, it actually released very close to that, and I was able to get it in the mail. And I ordered it directly from Lionel, but you can see here with the packaging, it looks very nice, and I'm excited to try this item. Now, I've seen a lot of different features with this, like from different users on X and everything, and it actually has a lot of really cool features. If we look at the back here, we can see all the different things that come with this set, as well as like the 3 different faces, different features, things like that. Very, very cool. We'll see here it has 44 pieces. Fun fact, they do show Annie and Clarabelle from the previous set in that item itinerary there. On the other side, we can see we have Thomas and all of his friends. Very cool. I really like this packaging for Lionel items. I think they've done a good job on it. Here's a look at the top of the box. Again, a better look at what comes with the set. And the bottom. And this is a fairly heavy box, too. Alright, but now that we've got that out of the way, here we can see everything that comes inside. We have Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, 3 faces, the instructions, of course the remote, all of this great track here. There's quite a bit of track there, some accessories, and the water dropper, and that's included because this actually has a Steam function. Let's take a look at the track first. Now we can see here, it's okay. It's detailed pretty well for what it is. It has some rivet details, some wood grain on the tiles there. This track system, though, I will say I don't like. I feel that over time it probably will not be as long-lasting as it could be. It's also kind of flimsy, like it twists pretty easily. It's not bad, it's not the worst that I've ever seen. I just don't know how well this will stand to time. You can see here with the connections, you just push it through, and that kind of flexes those plastic clips out of place. And then when you're disconnecting it, also, if you lift up the track, it will disconnect too. So it's not the best for connection either. Still not bad though. And you can see here what I meant with the flexing there of the track. Again though, not the worst. Alright, and here's the curve piece. You also get an X cover piece there, I really like that. And these switches, you get 2 sets of switches, and these are actually done quite well. I do like those. I like the lever here on there, and it does lock in place. So the engine can't push the rails open, like if it's coming through and closed. Like you have to make sure to leave it open if you want the train to go in that direction. Sometimes with Trackmaster switches, you can have it closed, and the engine will automatically open it when it goes through, because it pushes it open, but these do lock in place. Here's a look at the bottom. Alright, here's a quick look at the accessories, and these are all based on Lionel O-Gauge accessories. We can see here that we have the highway crossing, the automatic level crossing there, the little power line, I believe that's from the generator car, and the street sign. You can see also too that that gate does go down there. These are nice for what they are, but these are kind of thin plastic, and these probably aren't going to last as long as they should. Here's a look at the top and the bottom. And then here are some pine trees. These look very thin when looking at them from the sides, but looking at them from the top or at an angle, it doesn't look so bad. And these accessories are nice. I didn't have to include those. Alright, now here is Thomas, and this is probably the best piece of All Engines Go merchandise that we've ever had, and probably ever will have. This looks like you literally just took it straight out of the show. You have detailed wheels there, the detailed buffers, detailed whistles. You have the cab there. The roof is a little bit shorter than it should be. There's the coal bunker there, which is just a flat piece of plastic. Mine is actually kind of loose. It wasn't glued down when it came through, or it was glued originally, but I think it came off. Still not bad though. Here's a look at the front. You also see the coupling hook. The way they molded it, it actually is a separate piece underneath that. So it gives it so much more depth. The lamp is a reuse mold from the previous Thomas, I believe, but I don't mind that at all. I think it works great for what it is. and it does work as well. Here's a look at the other side, which is basically the same, but that's okay. Here's a look at the back. We can see they did put the correct lamp on the back there. We have the porthole windows, of course that other coupling hook that's molded there, and then you can see the battery cover, of course the buffers, and the coupling at the bottom there that couples in Clarabelle. Here's a look at the top of the engine. We can see the funnel there, a very detailed funnel. We have the whistles, dome detail, boiler bands. Again, just so much great detail packed into such a small model. All right, here's the underneath there. We can see there's traction tires on the rearmost wheel, and there is the chassis. Alright, and then here we can see this is how you change out the faces. Now, they do stick on there pretty well. I think over time that they'll get looser and it'll be easier, but I noticed that it was kind of a pain trying to figure out how to get these on and off. But you can see those are the 3 different faces used there, and in total you get 4 different expressions, which I think is very cool. This one, though, is my favorite. Alright, now let's take a look at Annie and Clarabelle, and here we can see this is Annie, and she looks amazing. Again, just the best All Engines Go merchandise we've gotten of Annie, probably and ever will get of her. We have the great details there with the little handrails, we have the little swirl detail, we have little printed details at the top. I mean, just, it's beautiful. The buffers at the front there, and the wheels, the way they've done the wheels, it matches exactly too. Here's a look at the front of the car. We can see that great molded detail with the face. Looks very nice and exactly like the show. We have the buffers, of course the window details there. Again, just great model. Alright, here's a look at the other side, and this is pretty much the same as the other, but that's okay. Here's a look at the back, and this really surprised me. They actually put this nice back printing there to give that depth to it. I think that looks really cool. Alright, now here's a look at the top of the coach, and the cab roofs do remove, just like the older version, so you can put items in there, passengers from your collection if you want to. And here's a look at the bottom of the coach, very nice. Alright, now let's take a look at Clarabelle, and we can see here that this has the same details except the swirl's a little bit longer, just like the show. Again, the handrail printing there, little window detail. Here's the front of Clarabelle, and you would see her eye color is different than Annie's, which is a nice touch. And then here is the other side. Here's the back, just like Annie, she has that great printing. And then here is the cab roof. Alright, and we can see inside there and the bottom. Alright, now let's see how to put batteries inside of Thomas. You can see there's this little cover on the back of the engine there. You just take that off, and he takes 4 double A's to put in there, make sure they're lined up properly. And then we're going to tighten that screw back so it's ready to go. And then once we do that, we're going to take and we're going to put batteries in the remote. We'll remove that cover on the back here. This battery takes 3 AAAs, so we'll put those there. And then now we're ready to get started. Now, when you get ready to get the model up and running, you want to take and flip this switch on the side there, and I'll show that in just a few minutes. Here's a better look at the remote. You can see the details on it, the wheel detail, of course forward and reverse, the bell, whistle, and announcement buttons, Lionel, Thomas, and #1 logo. I do feel that those are not printed as thickly as they should be. Because of the blue underneath, it's not opaque enough, and so it kind of has like a bluish tint to it, but it's not bad. Here's a look at the top and the bottom. Alright, so before we set up the remote, we're going to take off the dome here, and we're going to add water to this engine, because like we stated before, this does have a steam unit. Now you want to use the water dropper and put the water inside until it reaches the top of the reservoir. Now I actually didn't put enough on this time, and it's kind of tricky, because if you look here it looks like it's full, but it wasn't, and it didn't steam right away. So once you add more water, you'll take and you'll put the dome on top, back in, it just plugs right in there. And then now we're ready to go. Alright, so now to run the model, we're going to turn the switch on. It's going to start making this beeping sound. Once it starts making that beeping sound, we'll take and get our Thomas remote, and then we're going to flip the switch on that, and then the two will automatically pair. And you'll hear this noise. Alright, now the engine is ready to go, but let's hear some of the sounds. So you can hear the whistle, you can hear the announcements, and of course, Thomas theme song, but I had to cut that. Now, once we start moving the model, you'll see here that the steam is actually puffing out of the model. I think that's a great thing, and it does that the entire time. So the steam will take and be puffing out of the model even when it's stationary. The reason it wasn't puffing previously is because, like I said, I hadn't put enough water in it, so that was my bad. But here we can see with the front of the engine, it just looks so cool, and it brings this model to life so much. This is one of the first Thomas engines in O-Gauge that has a smoke unit. In fact, I believe it's the very first. Here's a look at it from the top, again, just how cool it looks. And it's a continuous puffing motion, too. It amazed me how they're able to get that in this model, but it looks so cool with Thomas just running around and steam coming out of that funnel. Alright, now here's the set setup. I did not have a large enough space to use all of this track, and you can see here there is a good bit left over, but I was able to create a really decent sized layout with the track provided. Alright, so before we can get him running here, we're going to get him on the rails. Of course, we want to make sure to line it up there with the track, make sure he's lined up, and then of course get Annie on the track. And these couplings have what they call dummy couplings, so you have to lift them up to get them to couple. They don't have operating couplers. Alright, but now that those are ready, let's see Thomas run around the layout. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start him up here, and then he is ready to go. And we'll see him start puffing around the layout again. That great steam there just looks so cool. It's flying out a little bit more aggressively, you could say. That's because I have a ceiling fan on, so it doesn't normally go that fast. Alright, and there he goes. Look how cool he looks running around the layout. Alright, so all in all, while Thomas is running around here on the layout, what are my thoughts on this set? Well, I'm going to tell you, I think it is an incredible set. It's something that we should have gotten from Lionel a long time ago. And it's something that I'm very happy they have made. Now, this set has been kind of indecisive in the fandom as of late, because some are saying, oh, it's a bad model, and some are saying that it isn't. Let me tell you, this is not a bad model at all. In fact, this is probably one of the best models Lionel has ever produced. Now, is it accurate to the CGI series? No, it's not meant to be. It's meant to be based on All Engines Go, because that's what the current brand is, going after. But Lionel took the initiative to make something that looked exactly like the show. And I think that's what's hurt some fans, because they feel that, Lionel previously had kind of just done their own thing, and the proportions were way off, and they weren't great models, in all honesty. And I've reviewed the Thomas set, and I can tell you, that previous Thomas set wasn't a great model. But this is amazing. And I think Lionel did a great job. I think they took it and knocked it out of the park, and it's beautiful. Not only does it have operating headlight, it has a operating steam unit inside the engine, and that just puts it over the top, and I think it's great. Now, are there downsides? There are a few, but nothing major. The only downside that I have is that they use the CGI series voice with this model. I think they should have went with the current voice actor for Thomas. I think that would have done better. The other thing is they do play the old theme song, the engine roll call instead of All Engines Go theme song, which I would have preferred them to play, since it is All Engines Go centric, and this is such an accurate model to that, I do wish they would have done that. Otherwise, though, that's my only two nitpicks. I do believe that this will run on O-Gauge track. I don't have any currently to test it out on. I would recommend eventually switching to that, probably, just because this track doesn't feel like it's going to last very long. The engine and cars, yes. Thomas Annie and Clarabelle, I think they'll last a really long time. But as for the track, I don't think so. I wish that was a little bit better. Anyway, though, this is a fantastic set. If you're a fan of All Engines Go, and you're wanting something that's a step up from Trackmaster, and you want something really beautiful and really detailed, definitely go with this model. And I'll be honest with you, this is something really cool just to put on your shelf, regardless of if you are a AEG fan or a Classic fan. It's really something very cute that if you didn't want to run on a layout, you could at least display in your home, and that's what I plan on doing, because I don't have a permanent layout for O-Gauge. I do plan on displaying him here in my house. Anyway, though, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this awesome set in the comments below, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.